about that.
Was it a mistake?
Jackie Dean.
One of the things New Zealanders hold very dear is to feel safe in their homes. It is one of those things that my constituents hold very dear. In fact, I know a number of people move to the South Island and to small towns in the South Island because that's there where they feel safe. They feel safe going about their business, they feel safe on the roads, they feel safe in their homes, and that is something that I believe we all want for all New Zealanders all throughout New Zealand. And that is why, Mr Speaker, the National Government embarked, when it came into government, on a comprehensive program of reform to protect our communities, to protect everybody in New Zealand on the roads, at work and in their homes, to prevent crime happening to New Zealanders, and to put victims at the heart of the justice system. And so in the time that the National Government has been, we've passed 18 new laws to do with the safety of New Zealanders. We have introduced pieces of legislation like the offender levy, where $50 is taken off offenders and put towards the victims of crime. And I was looking for the latest figure of how much has been gained from the offender levy, and I'm afraid I can't find it. It's not to hand. But I know that is a significant amount, and I know that that offender levy is making a real difference to the victims of crime in New Zealand. This government has given victims more say in court with victim impact statements. This government has put 600 more police on the beat, on the front line, in the small towns and the cities throughout New Zealand. This government has provided tools to seize the proceeds of crime, and again, the amount levied from the amount recovered from the proceeds of crime is indeed significant, and that money is in turn being put to good use. This government has brought in tougher sentencing and parole laws and now is looking at bail laws for all New Zealanders. We have tackled gangs, we have tackled P. We are making significant gains on the importation of precursors to P. This government has also worked on road safety, and where we now have the lowest road toll in 50 years. But of course, Mr Speaker, that is not enough. Budget 2012 has a strong focus once again, and I'm very pleased to see it, on law and order. Recorded crime is now at a 15-year low, and the crime rate, which is set at a rate per 100,000 of population, is at a 30-year low. Now, those are figures which are to be celebrated, but according to Police and Corrections Minister Anne Tolley, she says much more needs to be done. What a great attitude from our Minister of Police and Corrections. Because this is a minister and a government who is committed to making our communities safer, with a focus now on preventing crime from happening and also reducing crime. Budget 2012 supports this target for safer communities for New Zealanders and supports this target and builds on the achievements of less crime. This budget reprioritises $65 million in operating expenditure over the next 4 years, and this expenditure is targeted in certain directions. There will be 33,000 offenders accessing drug and alcohol treatment, including remand prisoners. This government has already banned smoking in our prisons. It was probably about a year and a half ago smoking was banned in our prisons, a move which has, reported to us in the Law and Order Committee, been an outstanding success. There is cleaner air, both for officers and inmates alike, improved health, of course, as a consequence of no smoke in the air, and a decrease in standover tactics now that tobacco has been removed as a currency. I'll never forget the day, Mr Speaker, where Corrections came to the Law and Order Committee and showed us a video and photographs of fires in prisons, where prisoners wad up their bedding or sheets or paper light it with these cigarette lighters, throw it out into the corridor and watch the ensuing mayhem, placing not only corrections officers themselves but other prisoners at risk as the corrections officers scramble to put out those fires. The incidence of fires is now virtually nil, and so it would be fair to say that prisons are now a safer place for officers and inmates alike. The Corrections Amendment Bill has passed its first reading. This is a bill which will remove red tape, allowing our prisons to operate more effectively, and also importantly makes improvements to both drug testing and also strip searching procedures. All these are measures to make our prison environments safer for all those that have to live and work in them. Budget 2012 provides for more rehabilitation places. And again, the Law and Order Select Committee is to travel to Rimutaka Prison this week to have a look at this, and I extend a welcome to any other members of Parliament who'd like to come. It's a select committee trip, but it is open to any other members who are interested in law and order issues and who would like to take part on this visit. This visit will have a look at rehabilitation programs at work. And these programs are designed to equip prisoners with the skills so that they can face the world outside of prison when they get released. As part of Budget 2012, there will be 2,950 more prisoners in education and training. There has already been a 45% increase in NZQA credits gained by prisoners in trades, training and work skills, with the consequent likelihood, and it's pretty obvious, isn't it, that the more work skills a prisoner has, the more trades training skills the prisoner has, the likelihood of getting employment on release is much enhanced, and so too is the likelihood of prisoners reoffending and ending right back where they began in prison. It's notable, particularly following the contribution by the member who was so fixated on the colour red in a previous contribution, that in Christchurch there are 130 new places for trades training. Of course, those are skills which are going to be sorely needed in the future in Christchurch, and those skills are around building and carpentry and those practical skills that are going to be sorely needed. Corrections, Mr Speaker, has looked very carefully at the way it operates as part of an expenditure review and has identified the best investments with a view to reducing reoffending. And by seriously addressing these contributors of crime, things like drug and alcohol addiction, lack of literacy and also numeracy skills, we can reduce the likelihood of reoffending. Budget 2012 supports police in working smarter and better. Of course, by working more efficiently, they are providing a better public service to taxpayers, which is a very strong focus of this government, and have a real impact on crime rates in New Zealand. Police Minister Anne Tolley announced the Prevention First strategy late last year, which outlines how police aim to prevent crime before it happens, and most importantly puts the victim first, ultimately making New Zealand a safer place to work and to live. The strategy also aims to reduce the number of crashes on our roads, give police greater control of the criminal environment, puts the police on top and provides a better service once again to victims. The Prevention First strategy puts prevention of crime at the forefront of police security. It allows police to be more proactive and work in a planned ways. I was interested to hear a policeman say to me, gone are the days where the police car leaves the police station, tosses a coin and then decides whether to turn left or right. Those days are gone. And now police are working more effectively, more and smarter. Budget 2012 supports frontline police with the provision of new technologies which gives them faster access to information so that they can make better decisions when they're out on the road and facing a crime. As Prevention First and policing excellence programs continue to be rolled out, Police are on course to reach the target of a 13% reduction in crime by 2014-15. That's a big goal. This budget supports that.
Andrew Nicol.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.